me, every year at this season during the summer, you're faced with a little bit of a dilemma. On the one hand, it's the summer. The summer months mean vacation for many people, and a slower pace, a little change of schedule. On the other hand, as we know, this is the time in the Jewish calendar where we commemorate the destructions of the first and second temple, the period we call Bein HaMitzraim, between the Yud Zayin Tammuz fast and the fast of Tisha B'Av, a period marked by national mourning, where we have certain restrictions, and it's probably best summed up by the line in Masechet Tani, Mishenichnas Av Mema'atin B'Simcha. There's a lesser feeling of simcha, a sense of sadness that kind of hangs over the summer because of the 3 weeks. So how do we face the summer? I think it pays to go back to the original perspective on the summer, and that's the perspective of the Torah, before the first temple was even built. Well, you're probably wondering, does the Torah even have a perspective on the summer? Does the Torah mention the summer or have anything to say about the summer whatsoever? So in fact, it actually does. There is one mitzvah that marks the summer. There's one mitzvah that is observed throughout the summer period, and that's the mitzvah of Bikurim, the first fruits, the bringing of the first fruits of the Shivat HaMinim, the 7 types of fruit, to the Bein HaMikdash in Yerushalayim. And as a matter of fact, this mitzvah, which runs, the season for this mitzvah runs from Shavuot all the way through Sukkot, over the summer months. It was a period of great rejoicing. There were processions coming from different cities all throughout the land of Israel, streaming down to Yerushalayim, or up, or east or west, whatever it might be, towards Yerushalayim, and there was a lot of fanfare. It was a very exciting, joyous time. And not only for the people who were going to Yerushalayim to bring their first fruits, but even the people awaiting them and greeting them on the way, the store owners, the shopkeepers, would get up and greet them with a lot of rejoicing and fanfare. So when you go back to the Torah, the summer was actually a pretty exciting, upbeat, happy time. It was a very special mitzvah. So the question is, how do we look at it now? Now this mitzvah, as it says in the Torah, that has to be brought and done in Yerushalayim at the Bein HaMikdash. So once we don't have the Bein HaMikdash, we don't unfortunately have the mitzvah of Bikurim either. But we still have the spirit of the mitzvah of Bikurim. And what is the spirit of the mitzvah of Bikurim? Well, on a simple level, obviously it would seem to be gratitude, a show of gratitude. Hashem is giving us this wonderful abundance of fruit, something very special, and we want to say thank you. So we give some to the Kohanim in the Bein HaMikdash. However, that might not be the entire picture, because if that was the whole perspective on the mitzvah of Bikurim, it would probably be enough just to go ahead and take those Bikurim, find a local Kohen, and give it to him. I mean, that's what we do with Truma. So we take off a portion of our crops, and we give it to a local Kohen, and we're finished. So it was just gratitude, that you're giving something back to God for all of His blessings. We'd probably be sufficient just to go ahead and find a Kohen in our locale, and we'd be done with it. Why the whole procession and fanfare and the march up to Yerushalayim? Why specifically does the mitzvah of Bikurim have to be done in the temple in the Bein HaMikdash? So the answer for that lies in a beautiful statement by the Sefer HaChinuch. He writes that the purpose of the mitzvah, the shorish of the mitzvah of Bikurim, is in order to remember and to know that all of our blessings come from Hashem. And therefore we have to give some of those blessings back to His Mishartei Bayit, to those who serve in His home. So what's the connection between those who serve in His home and showing thanks for the blessings that Hashem has given us? I think the understanding is as follows. I think that what happens is when you go to the Bein HaMikdash, you remember very viscerally, very powerfully, that this is the makom of the most intense Hashra'at Shekhinah, the most intense coming down of God's presence in the world. And one realizes at that point that it is from God's presence, His existence in our world, His Hashra'at Shekhinah, that all of our blessings flow. And to the extent that we do good deeds, or we do mitzvot, we bring that Hashra'at Shekhinah, we bring, so to speak, Hashem into the world. And that's what we need to remember. That the fruits that we were given as a blessing is due to the extent that Hashem's presence is in this world. And so fortunately, at this stage in Jewish history, where we have a severely diminished Hashra'at Shekhinah, we do not have the Bein HaMikdash, we also have fewer blessings. But maybe if we take this summer and we go with the spirit of the mitzvah of Bikurim and we count our blessings with gratitude and with the realization that to the extent that we are able to do those deeds that bring Shekhinah back into the world, our blessings will only grow and grow. And may we be Zova, speeding our days, to see the full extent of Hashrat Shekhinah, of God's presence, resting in Yerushalayim in the rebuilt Bein HaMikdash. Amen.